This is part 2 of the lesson we learnt from the letter that King Nebuchadnezzar wrote in the 4th chapter of the book of Daniel. In Nebuchadnezzar's letter, he acknowledged God as the supreme God whom all glory, honor, and power belongs to. And he admonished everyone in the world to humble themselves because God humbles those who are proud. King Nebuchadnezzar is the best person to teach us humility because he experienced firsthand what pride does to a person. He said it in Daniel chapter 4 that when God made him the most powerful king in the world in his day, he became proud. And after he built the magnificent city in Babylon and saw all the wonderful things that he had accomplished, he praised himself and said that he was so powerful and mighty to accomplish great things. And it was whilst he was praising himself that God drove him out of the palace to live in the bush with animals. The Bible says that his hair on his head grew like the feathers of an eagle, and his nails also grew like the claws of a bird. And he ate grass like an ox. And after living in the bush with animals for 7 years, the Bible says that King Nebuchadnezzar finally lifted up his eyes unto heaven and acknowledged that God is supreme and powerful over all things. And so when he acknowledged the powerful nature of God, the Bible says that God restored to him his sanity. And God returned him to the palace and restored his kingdom to him, where he ruled again and was powerful even than before. Because King Nebuchadnezzar failed to recognize that the source of his prosperity came from God, and he failed to give praise and honor to God for all the things that he had accomplished, God humbled him. And he was driven out of society to live in the bush with animals for 7 years. God showed him that if he was able to prosper him, then he was able to also bring him down. That is to say that his destiny was in the hands of God. This is why the Bible says it in Daniel chapter 2 verse 21, that it is only God who has the power to make kings and also has the power to dethrone kings. All power belongs to God, and it is your obedience towards God or your disobedience to God which will determine how God uses his power in your life, whether he uses it against you or he uses his power to make you prosper. James chapter 4 verse 6 says that God opposes the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. If, like in Nebuchadnezzar, you fail to give God the praise and the honor that is due him for the accomplishment that he has made you to accomplish, and you do not give God that honor that he deserves, beloved, you will not see the glory of God in your life. If you do not humble yourself and you take credit for all the things that you have accomplished, the houses you have built, the cars you have bought, and the businesses and properties that you have set up, beloved, you will be opposed by God for not acknowledging that he is the source of all your success and your prosperity. If you take credit for all the things that you have achieved, you will be opposed by God for not attributing your success to him. But the Bible tells us in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18 that it is God who gives us the power to make wealth. The source of prosperity and success comes from God. So whenever you achieve anything, you must recognize that it is God who enabled you to achieve that thing and give praise and honor to God. If you always thank God for all the things that you have, the Bible says that God will give you grace. Another word for grace in the dictionary is to honor or elevate. So when you always give credit to God for the things that he has let you accomplish and the things that he has provided for you, the Bible says that God will honor you and he will also elevate you. Always remember that there are more people who are clever than you, who are smarter than you, and who are more talented than you, who do not have half of the things that you have achieved. Everything you have is because of the grace of God. So remember to always humble yourself to God and give Him thanks for everything that you have.